Hi Floss Tube. This is Chrissy, finally a farm girl with Floss Tube episode number 8. This is my channel about cross stitch. Most of the time it's primarily about cross stitch. Every now and then maybe another form of needle art. But tonight it's 100% about cross stitch and a little bit of a life update. And welcome to those who are new to my channel. Thank you. I appreciate everybody who likes and subscribes and even shares from time to time. And thank you to those that have waited patiently for this Floss Tube. It has been a couple of weeks. Welcome to my new house and my new stitchy area. You are going to see some differences in the Floss Tubes in that I do not have a door on my stitchy room. It is now stitchy room slash family room slash extension off of the kitchen. So you're gonna hear the dogs and the cats, and you'll get to see all the activity back there that typically happens with the crazy critters in the house. So anyways, this is Ophelia. So let's do a very quick life update. I think it's been about 2 weeks for sure. I tried to keep the Floss Tubes going even when we were packing. Ginger. Even when we were packing up the house and I was no longer in my sewing room, I said I was transitioning, and actually I had just been packing. It was definitely not an easy decision that my husband Randy and I made. However, as much as it was bittersweet, it was definitely time to move on. And I think if anybody has gone through a transition like that, you can understand that even though we loved so many aspects of the farm, and we knew that was going to be hard to say goodbye to, we also really were excited and motivated, and we put it all in the Lord's hands. So step one was kind of coming to that decision, and that we were ready to try something new, and that the farm life, even though was an answered prayer, I am not changing my Finally a Farm Girl name on Instagram or here on YouTube. To me, it's a state of the heart. I kept the farmhouse look and the primitive look and the colonial look. All of that is in this new house. It's who you are. So that being said, we started down the journey of considering selling when, we realized that Randy had turned 55. He put 4 years of really hard work into clearing land and making a lot of my dream, come true. But it wasn't everybody's dream. It was more mine. We had 2 girls that were graduating, and that if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen that they have officially graduated high school. So congratulations to Carolyn and to Olivia. We were incredibly proud. And knowing that change was going to come, knowing that college was going to come, knowing that, each of them have their own paths, and that the animals and a special needs journey was not as easy as what I thought. It really made, it was difficult to want to love on those animals and participate with those animals. And I have no problem putting on boots and mowing and mucking, but with special needs, there takes just a certain, you have to come up with things in a different fashion to get them done. So it meant a lot of that load landed on Randy, and we would take our turns, but he still works. And so the first step was acknowledging to me that I was ready to move on. I'd been thinking about it, and then talking it over with Randy and considering what our options were and what we missed. So the pros and the cons. And then at that point, the biggest hurdle was going to be, in my heart, making sure those animals had good quality homes. Because on our farm, it was a hobby farm and it was families. We had created families there. So, you know, we had a goat mom and goat, you know, her children. And so you had chickens who had chicks. And so there was just everything to me had to be taken. It weighed very heavily on my heart. So when we literally put it out there, and we are very much for following the Lord's will, if you might, and we were completely blessed by one family who took all the animals, literally 99% of the animals. So that alone was a huge blessing, so exciting, even though it was sad, and it happened very quick. So it was almost like ripping that Band-Aid off. I did not have a chance to really be all that sad. It was very busy. So one wonderful family who has a family farm took all the goats, all the pigs except Pumpkin. They took all the ducks, all the geese, all the chickens except 4, and ultimately went to one place as a family. And you can't, to me, that just doesn't happen. So we felt very much that step alone, we felt more and more confident as we moved through that journey. And then I did not push on the horse, Quill. I was really hoping that because he was a rescue horse, that he would be able to live his life out on the farm, that maybe somebody else would want to pick up Seventh Heaven Farm and take off where we left off. And so I didn't rush on that aspect, and that's when we listed the house. So moving ahead and starting to think about what we wanted, we knew that we wanted much less work. Randy still works from home, but he is very busy, and we wanted to be able to have some of that time back that we could socialize, have some neighbors, have some sidewalks. I had put on more than COVID pounds, as many of you probably have seen, and I needed a healthier lifestyle. I needed to be able to get out my front door and go for a walk or go for a swim, and I did miss the socialization aspect. On a farm, it was basically our family, and if Philip and I went anywhere, it was shopping, and that was it. Those are not long-lasting relationships. So what ended up happening was after my mom passed and I spent some time in my dad's neighborhood and we went for walks together, I started realizing that is what I missed, that was a beautiful thing that we could have again. And so we started considering that as our next move. We even considered in by where my dad lives. It's a lovely community, but we really started realizing that Randy's 55, I'm turning 54, and so that was a nice option for us. And the girls are going off to college, so maybe we did it just a few months sooner, but we would have all the amenities that that we would enjoy, and neighbors. So the next step was then listing the farm and considering the animals inside, making sure that we would be able to take the dogs. We have 3 dogs, and Ophelia was a farm dog, and even though she was a farm dog, I never kept her in the barn that many do, and I probably should have done, but she was a great farm dog, but she also is a great family dog, and she has no problem being in the house and sometimes prefers that. She has a blindness in one eye, and we seem to, when the Lord put our farm together, that seemed to be, we got a lot that we had given homes to, not as many babies that we went out and got. So anyways, the next step was listing, and we did. And we went through the journey, and the new owners have they're younger, they have a nice 6-year-old daughter, and they literally gave both Quill and the last pig on the farm, they allowed them to stay. So we had another answered prayer. Pumpkin, who I will miss dearly, but he was my very good friend, Jennifer, had a farm around the corner, and he basically went to the Hilton of farms. He has a girl coon pig with him, and he has massive pasture on grass with some cows and a couple of donkeys and young kids and grandkids, and I couldn't be happier for him, and I have the ability to visit Pumpkin anytime. So that being said, I will always be finally a farm girl. And I can tell you the best part. I can tell you what it's like to watch a chick pip out of a shell. I can tell you how soft a gosling is. I can tell you about a pig and, giving them a bath with peanut butter. On the side to keep them still. I can tell you about delivering a baby goat in the driveway, and I can tell you all the goods, but I can also tell you that there's such a significant amount of work, and there's also a level of liability with every one of those animals. And yes, coulda, shoulda, woulda, I might have done less animals, but you're learning and you're experiencing, and I think that having a farm is about exactly that, learning. And I've never learned so much in that short of amount of time. And I've had a whole lot of smiles, and our family was hugely blessed by the farm. But it was also becoming very evident that it was time for change. And it beautifully aligned with finding a community closer to my dad's. So that was on the list, not that I had to, but at the same time, after my mom's passing, we really feel a sense of family with him and my sister, and just staying very close right now. So that was important, and I'm literally 15 minutes to my dad's door, and I love that, and he loves that, and we have 3 pools here. And so we did something a little bit different because the girls will come and go. So we downsized, and we went from it's like 6-bedroom house that we had built on the farm to 2 master suites. And at first I thought, there is no way, 2 bedrooms, no way. And as we looked at them, we needed the size, and because of Philip's special needs, a huge master is a must, and a huge master bath is a must because of mobility. So then to have the other master suite, it would accommodate the large size for the girls to share, as well as give them a very nice closet and bathroom. So Randy needed an office, which he got. And the only thing that really wasn't on the list was I had said I could share. I could share if there was a family room and a living room. And it always seemed to be that I was stitching with Randy anyways. The sewing room was fun. It was great for Philip and I to have a space to go during the day. But in all reality, we hovered near the kitchen and we hover in the family room. And so it just absolutely made sense. It just meant I needed to get more organized. So I now have an official cross-stitch cupboard. It's huge. It's what the TV sits on, and I will definitely do a home tour and a tour of that coming up soon so that you can see how I've done this. I was so happy that so many of you had wonderful comments over my sampler wall or cross-stitch wall. It was so fun to do. It came together so easily. I had so much fun doing it, and it just, when you walk in, it's a pleasure to look at. So that one went up first. And we have, let's see, we have a nice size, I've shared a couple of pictures of that on Instagram, lanai. So that gave us that extra space in square footage that we could eventually put under air if we wanted to, but it's actually quite pleasant. And the last piece of the puzzle was, even though I am not a golfer, my dad is, and Randy has golfed, but he does not claim to be a good golfer yet. But we found a nice home on the golf course, and coming from 6 acres or more, it's when I walked in the house and I looked out, there's 2 sets of sliders, a whole wall of sliders in the living room, and the slider that you see right here, that goes off to a patio where like a grill is, and then in the living room, which I think I'll do a tour, but if you've watched on Instagram, I shared a picture, but the wall you didn't see is literally 3 sliders, and all windows. So when you look out, you see nothing but beautiful greens that I don't have to maintain. And then a heavily wooded area at the far back of that. So that was it. And even though, as any closing or sale of a home has its issues, we are here. We are blessed, and we're really very thankful. So thank you for waiting. I will say for sure, I don't have a lot of whips to get out and show you. I have started stitching again, but the lack in time, I was very methodical about how I packed things up, and continued with the floss tubes. So the first couple, I had about 3 or 4 projects that I left out. I left out modern folk embroidery, and I left myself about 3 or 4 projects. And when we got down to, we closed around May 14th. When we got down to that last week, I pulled all of it away except for my model stitch for Twin Peak Primitives, which, by the way, I have a very special thing to share at the end. My first giveaway. So hold tight, let me get through the rambling that I promised, and then we have a giveaway. So anyways, I forced myself into only working on that, knowing that I probably would go a good few days without stitching at all when we move. So anyways, I was very methodical about how I was going to do it so that I would not get behind. So I do have that to show you. I have more haul than I do, because as every stressful moment came down to the last minute, I did more ordering per se than I did stitching. So I have fun stuff to show you, and a new Sal, and 2 FFOs. So thank you for understanding. It's not easy when you go from doing a life change that everybody supported and so was encouraging. Farming at 50, I had many friends, and I will not unfollow on Instagram any of them, because I still love that. I still love all of that. So I hope they'll continue to watch our journey here. But it has been just a pure joy to come here and watch the girls be happy too, and set up their room, and to take Philip to the pool and go for walks. And I will admit, less liability, less stress over making sure every one of those animals had everything that they need, has really allowed me to feel like, I don't know, there's some good healing going on inside, I should say, a lot less stress. And that's good. That's good. You should not stay somewhere or stay in something when it's not, when it's not working, if there are options out there. And for us, it was it was time to consider those options and have that time back in our marriage and have that time back with our family. And so here we are, and welcome to our home. So let me just quick get out the whip and be done with that. So the whip that I'm working on, I can't share the name or anything, and I'm in a different area, so let me see if I can, I think I'm gonna have to work on the lighting because I'm dark over here, but this model for Twin Peak Primitives, I've shared before, is all DMC. So, and the colors are really beautiful. There's a lot of fall in there, and then there's also some patriotic. So those are the DMC, and what I've done, I don't know about you, when I take a break from stitching, the best thing I could do to get back in a project is to go to an area where it's just filling in and get reacclimated with the piece. That's why I think I don't do I lost the word. I can't think of it. But anyways, it does not matter. I used to just stitch one project at a time, and now I cannot think of what the name of that is. But anyways, it doesn't matter. But I don't mind bouncing around, and I don't mind having more than one whip at all. But I do like to, when I start back in something, I like to make sure that I get in and I take my time with it. So the best thing I could do is, I think the last time we left off was you got to see the second bouquet, and I am working now over here. Let's see, best light, there you go. I'm working on the gentleman, and I had finished the bouquet here. Let's see if I can get you some light. And this is her dress. So what I did was basically, this is a huge portion to do fill in and full coverage. I can't, there we go. Maybe I just need to pull it back. I used to hold it up much closer. There you go. So what I've done is this, just in the last few days, since I just got stitching again, I am literally just filling that in. I'm very close to, I will come over here, finish the corner, and then when I'm done with that, then I'll start going back up again. But she's very pretty, and I'm very excited for y'all to see what this is all about. So that's all I did. And so I'm sorry I don't have more to share on that aspect, but when you go from moving, packing, moving, all of that, to like, I was so freaked out over my stitching and my project bags. I was so thankful to have them back. They kind of feel like they're part of you. So that was a must. Let's do the FFOs because that was really exciting. So there's a new, at my local needle shop, Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala, there is a new, she works there. Her name is Stacy, and I found out that she does finishing. So I gave her a couple pieces that I was deciding. This is the first one. Let's see here. Okay. And I think she did a really good job. Originally, I had framed this. This is just a small portion of what the pattern was. And I got this from Prim Stitcher's Facebook page. It was a freebie years ago. And all I did was had her in an oval frame at the time. But the sun had started fading, and I really knew that downsizing also meant not a bunch of things all over. I would have to be selective, and I knew that I wanted to get a dough bowl. And even though she's a little bit bigger in size, I have quite a large farm table, so I'm gonna stick her in there. But I think you can see her. I had, this was just on 28 count Lugana that I coffee dyed, and I think she did a really cute job finishing. Then I shared on Instagram. Okay, so a while back, I shared with you that I was working on an old whip by Threadwork Primitives. It's called Wandering Heart. And I used, hold on one second here. I used fabric by Fabric Flare. It's called Dirty Rose. And this was the one where I was a little bit confused because it seemed like Ada, but it really was kind of like linen, and maybe there's Lin-Ada and Fabric Flare, but either way, it was gorgeous and it was so easy to work on. And it really looks very old. I hope the light will show good. So Stacy did this finish for me because I decided when we were moving, if I hold it up here, okay, I didn't do the motifs at the bottom. I stopped after the words, and it just says, bind my wandering heart to thee. And I thought it would be the perfect spot. Now, originally, my thought was to connect those two, but I still think that it's just absolutely fabulously done. And then I came home and added, you can see like a strawberry and a spool thread and my grandma's buttons. So I wish the light would, maybe that's a little better for you. But she did really good. And I told you one of my goals this year was to have a drum. And I'm not worrying, because I model stitch and because I do other stuff, I'm not worrying if I'm not doing the finishing per se right now. I'm just very happy to have a drum. I've always admired Brenda Sampler Stitcher. And by the way, I think I am way behind on Floss Tube. However, I did catch half of it, half of Brenda and Laura's on Sunday. And when I hit the end button on this and download it, I will be watching the rest. And I was so glad to hear that there were some good, some good news for Brenda, and that things were treatable, and that she has a very good positive outlook and a very good, what do they call that? Like a medical plan and team. And I'm very thankful that those prayers were answered, and we will continue to pray. So that was good news, really, really good news. I was so thankful to hear that. And I was so thankful to see her with her happy smile again, because I know when things like that weigh on you, especially health, it's very hard to think about anything else, to do anything else. So you could just see it. You could just see it. And anyways, I was glad to hear that. So those were my two FFOs. So happy. And I think she did a very good job. Okay, so let's get into haul. All right, I had one thing that was not cross-stitch related at all. I was at Fat Quarter Shop and I was grabbing the patterns for Lori Holt's June stitch along, which I think a lot of people already got started and some have already finished, but I have not. But when I was there, I saw, let's see here, if I can take it out. This is called Hopewell by Joe Morton, Moda Fabrics. And oh my goodness, can you see that? So really just a beautiful, beautiful jelly roll of very primitive type. I don't know if they would consider them like the Civil War type fabrics, but I would like to be able to do a little more sewing now that once I get steady here and everything unpacked. But these, if you look at the fabrics online, were gorgeous. And if I unrolled this, I would make a mess. But if you take a look at all of the colors, especially down in, like, whoa, so lovely. So that was one quilty project. Now, I got my very first Dot Dot Goose project bag. I have not had any from her before, and it's really very cute. So it's a vinyl project bag. This was the back, but I think I talked about on my last Floss tube that I wanted to just have one bag for Lori Holt stuff. Especially, I like her primitive pattern, which I already showed you that I got, but I did also get, I got flea market flowers. A lot of people are on the same little plan with that, and I thought it was a June 1st start, but I believe a lot of people have already jumped in on it. And then I do have her prim and proper. There you go. So yeah, I'm gonna have to work out the lighting for you guys, but I didn't want to go any longer without stopping in and saying hi. So I have some floss tags for floss drops to do, but if you take a peek, those are the colors. So it's all DMC, and these are your flea market, I think that's just called flea market flowers. And again, now I've got my bag, my Miss Lori Holt bag. So I've tried to order the, she has for the flea market flowers, has the like a thread drop kind of deal, a wooden one that you can put them on, but they haven't had any available for a while. So hopefully I can still grab one of those. And I would like to get a start. I haven't picked my fabric, but I am just going to pick something from my stash. I think one of the things I realized when we moved was it was probably time to stop buying patterns and buying more linen. I think we tend to, or me, I think I tended to buy patterns because obviously they're cheaper. You can get them, you know, they're very affordable, and even the PDFs. However, if you don't have the linen to stitch it, and if you end up, it doesn't mean that I'm not buying Blackbird designs. It doesn't mean that I won't buy more things. It just means I think that I learned with storage that I should stitch more of them and have the linen for more of them instead of adding many more patterns. Okay, so that's my Lori Holt biz, and I'm very excited to get the flea market flowers started. I did grab, it's from Sewing the Good Life. I have heard many people say how pretty ale is. So I grabbed a piece of 28 count Lugana ale, and I do like it. So I got this off Etsy from Sewing the Good Life, and she did give me a little corner square, which I love those. And I will show you because it is really very pretty. The only problem is, there you go. That's probably, so I wanted to have a piece of that, and I know exactly, maybe I could stitch flea market on that. I don't know, I need to check the size, because I don't really like bright white linen or anything like that. So I know that I'll probably find something in my stash for that that's a little bit darker, so it'll fit in with my stuff. Okay, so that's ale. I now have some ale Lugana. And then I didn't know, I've never heard anybody talk about, it's the name of the Etsy shop and the designer is Primitive Needleworks. And I happened to just come across this for a patriotic wall, and it was a PDF download. But I will pull it out of the thing. I really like this. This was for, it's called Emancipation. And I think this is really cute. Let's see, there you go. I don't think it'd be a very long stitch because you've got a lot of writing, but I thought it was worth it. And as far as the pattern goes, it's not in color, but it is very, very legible and a very nice size. Wasn't very expensive. So anyways, that's by Primitive Needleworks, and it was on Etsy, and it was from 2010 is like the copyright. But I'm excited for that one because it just looks really cute. And patriotic. Okay. I also fell down the Little Robin Designs rabbit hole for Clarissa Beaumont 1875. Now, I was gonna hold off, but seriously, when you see it, you really just can't hold off. I love these animals, and I love the fact that it's not a huge sampler. So I'm excited for that. This will definitely be kitted up quick and be a nice one to just start after a few of my sales come to an end. But so that is Little Robin Designs and Clarissa Beaumont 1875. Again, that was a download. Let's see here. I love that she does give you some information, some history on Clarissa Beaumont. And again, the pattern itself is not in color, but it is very legible, very easy to read, and a very good size. So I was excited about that. And I know many others have shared this, this pattern that they grabbed as well. Okay, so when I went up to, I'm trying to think, I think I went up to my local needle shop. Philip and I needed some time out of the house, out of the boxes, out of the chaos. So we met Stitchy Linda, and I shared a picture of the owner of the shop, Jean and I had mail, which I love. So the newest ones were, I got this called a Liberty Pin Drum, Justice Needle, and Justice Needleberry by Heartstring sampler. And now that I'm on a little drum roll, and now I like that this one has the top, but you know, it's. I guess I'm learning so much that you can do whatever, you know, you can modify these. I have some really great patriotic fabric, so I may eliminate the top and use that so that I can use some of that fabric. So anyways, but I will definitely try and get a strawberry in. I've never made one of those either, another goal. But okay, so that is, let's see if I can get that up there good for you. And I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think that will take too long to stitch up. So I really like that one. And then I had in my mailbox, this is by the Scarlet House, Roses for Ruby. There you go. And I know we've seen a lot of this too, because they've just kind of come out. Love these. And here's the back with some detail. The nice part about these sometimes is you can just pull a motif off and stitch just that too. It doesn't always have to be the whole sampler. Stitch what works for you. And then this one I really love, and even though I will have to find the right linen, I love this. This is called Entwined Hearts, and this is by the Scarlet House as well. I love that linen, and I love the black in it. So this is gonna be easy for me. I can tell I'll pick it up before the other ones. I promise I'll work on the lighting for y'all, because I think it's because it's got to come in front of me, and I'm up against a wall right now. I was able to come up with, across from me where I'm sitting is the wall with the TV, and I fit an old antique desk in a nook with my mom's featherweight. So I can sit here and it works perfectly to do the videos as far as giving me enough space, but it doesn't give me any room in front of me to put a light this way. But I'll get it. I'll get it figured out. I think I'll need a tabletop ring light or something instead. Okay, so that's Scarlet House. That was my haul from local needle shop. Now I have an announcement about a new sale starting tomorrow. I did put it out there on Instagram. My friend Stitchy Linda on Instagram and 911 Stitcher introduced me a while ago to Carolyn Manning Designs. Now, not something I typically would pick up, and I don't know why. It just isn't. It seems like it's more, like I said, I like to typically stitch something that has a story It creates a, something that just tells a story. So it has people in it and trees and it's more scenery. But I kept watching. 911 Stitcher has collected these Carolyn Manning designs where she is talking about how wonderful it is because there's so much duplication, even though the pattern changes, and it's just a pleasure to stitch them because you have nice chunks of solid colors. So if I show you what I have here, Stitchy, I found one I liked, and Stitchy Linda had found one she liked, and hers is called Sea Glass, and it is gorgeous. All these beautiful blues, and then I found one that's called Red, Flower a Day Collection. So this is going to be what I'm going to stitch for the Carolyn Manning Stitch Along that her and I are going to host. So please feel free to join us. We have many on Instagram that have said they're going to join in. Mine is a little different. Linda's is full coverage. Mine is not. Mine has some vine work, but I'm not going to shy away. It's not a huge piece. Let me show you what the colors are. I picked 28 count mushroom Lugana. And mine are mostly reds and greens. And let's see, they're all DMC. I'll flip it around. And then I just picked the mushroom Madonna, which I don't think you're gonna get a good, that's better. So what you got is, voila. And see, I can already tell I'm gonna love that by my couch. It'll fit up there somewhere. I don't know where or what I could move. But even though I believe that when you look at the bottom, I didn't notice this at first, but when you look at the bottom, I believe it's actually probably a Christmas stitch. But when you see it as a whole, I mean, I'm not taking it down. So I'm very excited, and I've never done a Carolyn Manning. So the hashtag is very easy. C, letter C, Manning Sal. That's it. C, Manning Sal. And if you'll follow both Linda and I, her Instagram name is Stitchy Linda. And y'all know me. But the pattern, again, this is something I've never worked with her stuff before, and it's very legible. The only thing I have is I have some back stitching, so no big deal. If I could do a flower a day like it says, it's not so bad. And I think it's about, when I talked, I think it's like a 8x10 or 10x10 picture, so it is not huge by any means. But that is the Carolyn Manning sale, and we are starting that June 1st. So I hope that even if you don't have anything, if you want to join later on, even if you have a Carolyn Manning design that you already have half done, join us and just keep working on it. Stitch by stitch, you'll get it done. Okay, so I have two additional models that I'm going to stitch for Twin Peak Primitives. One I kind of collaborated on, which was a Halloween one, which it's really good. It's really, really good, and I'm really excited to get some stitches in it, and I'm gonna have to push myself to work on the big one, and then I have a beautiful one that y'all will enjoy for summer, and I can show you. I know what I picked for my linen on that one, and I went back with the water lily again because it's just so pretty with it, and I have all my DMCs, but I can just show you. I gotta put those on. I was happy with the Carolyn Manning that I just used the neutral floss drops, but I can't show you the pattern on this. I can only show you a little bit of the colors, but I will tell you that these right here make the most gorgeous sunflower. So if you love sunflowers, which is one of my favorite flowers ever. My two favorite flowers are sunflower and a purple rose. So I can't show you the pattern, but I can tell you if you like sunflowers, You're gonna love this. So that's that one. And then the Halloween one is just so good. I will, again, DMC, all DMC colors. And I am using, this is, I had a hard time reading this. It's still Lugana, but I think she called it Vetrus. I can't quite read it, but it's less than murky. I don't know if you can see it. It's a lighter green. It's not tan. It's got a mossy green, but it is not like it's not like murky. So all of this still shows up really well. But you see the swampy. You see the swampy, and oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So as soon as I get some stitches in that, I will say that my favorite thing is you will see our friend the mouse in that one, and a frog, a guest frog. So those, I have 3 models going, and I will start showing you as soon as I get some stitches in, and at least you'll have something to see. Okay, I think I'm doing pretty good. The last thing I have to share, I guess, is, okay, so Twin Peak Primitives has an Etsy shop for Twin Peak Primitives, for their patterns. But they also have a shop called TPP Exclusives, Twin Peak Primitives Exclusives. It's where they sell their kits. When they kit something up, they sell some Extrude Design cross-stitch linens. They sell, I bought my, a very primitive, patriotic-looking Santa that they handmade. I believe that was Nurse Son that handmade that. And they have some boxes, like more of a folk art painted boxes that they have. But they have specialties and some exclusives. So like my Santa's a one of a kind Santa. So they offered to send me a kit, and they're going to give away the exact same kit to the winner of my very first giveaway. So the rules for the giveaway, I've never done this before, but I can tell you, you need to be 18 years old, you need to subscribe, and you need to not mention anything about free giveaway, you know, any words like that, so that this would end up in the hands of an actual stitcher, not anybody else. I think that's one of the most wonderful things about the Floss Tube community is we don't mind rehoming our patterns. We don't mind sharing what we have. We love that. We want you to stitch. But we want to make sure that it goes to a stitcher. We want to make sure that we've protected, you know, what we have. So in order to do that, if you'll like the video, subscribe to the video, then what will happen is, this is so simple because they gifted me a kit, which was wonderful Happy Mail. They gifted me the kit. I'm going to share to you what you're going to get in it. And then if you're interested, down in the comment sections between now and next week when I get back to the regularly, I like to do them on Friday nights. So don't be surprised if you see me on a Friday night, next Friday. And I will announce the winner then. And then all I will have to do is tell Twin Peak Primitives, the TPP exclusives, your address, and they will send it directly to you. So I don't even have to do that part. So let me show you what you get in this kit is the Twin Peak Primitive patterns, and it will come in its own project bag, which I love. They're so cute. They're like a nice large size muslin bag, and it's this really adorable sampler. Now I'm going to tell you, I am not going to try and say that, guys. I understand up here that it says sampler. Other than that, I've got Kinderjick, and I'm going to tell you, I know I'll just mess that right up. But how sweet is that boy? How sweet is that boy with this little German Shepherd and these windmills? I do think a 911 stitcher with that because she's such a lover of German Shepherds. But anyway, so this is what you would get. You've got your project bag that it comes in. And you'll get your linen. Hold on one second. Okay. You get all your DMC floss that you need. Now, what you get in the kit is, I don't know if they have a color with this, but it's Extrude Designs. It's called Brick, oh yes it is. Okay, this is Brick Powder. It's really, really pretty. Very, very pretty color. And I'm not all much about pinks, but this is really pretty. And you get a very cute needle minder with the windmill on it. Of course, you got the pattern. Hold on one second here. Okay, let me do one thing here. All right, so the pattern is this. So now you can see a little bit better in color. And then they also include the hanger that you would mount it in. So you get these pieces that you're able to build your little village. And they kind of clamp together, but if you can see it, and then it fixes on the back, but it's really quite clever. And of course you can finish it however you want to finish it. You don't have to do that. But it's a sweet stitch and a sweet little sampler. So, hi Kiwi. Okay, let me make sure. She always gives you sweet treats. So I'll just make sure I read it one more time. So Diane runs this shop for Twin Peak Primitives exclusives. So you'll get it from Diane, and she always sends very sweet little token gifts with it. But she said that the kit includes the pattern, 14 count Ada by Extrude Design, all your DMC flosses, the floss holder, the needle minder by Nika's Design on Etsy, the project bag, and a few little goodies that will differ with each kit. So, anyways, it says that the finishing wood pieces will work for a wall hanging if the person stitches on 32 count. Anyways, so it gives you the opportunity, if you want to do it on linen, you need to do it on 32 count linen. But anyways, that to me was fun Happy Mail. And if the winner would like to stitch it with me and do a stitch along, I'd be happy to do that too. And we can show our progress. But I guess that is all for now. You can see that kitten right there is Azula. The one over on the couch right there is Kronk. Kronk took about he would come out at night, but this is probably the most comfortable that he's been. He's older, and the move to him, he just stayed in our bedroom. That was it. Ginger is doing great. Now these are dogs besides our older senior dog, the Golden, who was used to many different, I mean, she was not a farm dog, so she understood leash and, hey, I'm here, I need to go out and go to the bathroom, and that's it. Not that you need that information. However, the others were farm dogs. They were used to just going out. Poor Ophelia, she had no clue what a leash was, but she has acclimated beautifully. It took her a few days where we had to work with her, and I am happy to say as of today, about a week later, we are full on doing great, and everybody is very happy. I'm not sure if I can show you down there, but I will pop on a home tour as soon as I can. I'm gonna guess I'll probably wait until we're gonna paint our bedroom. I'll probably wait till that's all done. My dad's gonna help with that. And I will do a little tour of the cross-stitch cupboard. I'll do that in the next day or two. It's a work in progress, and I have a couple more things to do, but I think it's gonna be one of those things that I was able to salvage my floss wall, which I had really just gotten up at the other house, and my dad had made these wonderful pieces of trim with hooks, and I had just got them all organized, and I was able to make those work inside the cupboard. I think it was Colorado Stitchers, cross stitch, that has her floss inside of an old cupboard that she had, and that kind of gave me the idea, could I cut them down to size? Could I make it work? And it worked beautifully. So I will be excited to share that with you. And anyways, I guess that's it. Now, my husband, bless his soul, felt that there should be some sort of a bidding you farewell every time in the same fashion. And his idea, so you can either say, yeah, that's great, or you can laugh like I did and be like, I don't know if I could do that. But he said I should say, okay, Stitchers, this is finally a farm girl signing out. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to floss. I don't know if I could say that again, but he thought it was pretty genius. So, if you think I should close out with don't forget to floss, let me know. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. I am really happy to be starting to get settled in. I'm really happy to say hi to y'all. And I'm happy to be back stitching again. So, love ya. Comment below if you would like to be part of it. I guess I should have told you. Let's just say the keyword would be just put windmill. Okay, if you're interested in the giveaway, just put windmill. And I will do the random generator, and I will share with you on Friday as soon as I can do another floss tube. You can hear the dogs are playing now. So anyways, thank you so much for being patient. Love you all. Bye.